Today we are at the Union Gardens Infant School. Let me get that clear. It's the Union Gardens Infant School, and we're having a launch. We're going to be telling you so much more about the launch, but as you should have already known, the year 2022 has been declared the year of early childhood development by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen. And this is in an effort to raise awareness of the importance of early childhood education. So that is really the theme. And then we're going to be talking to the CEO of the Cheetah Toys, and the CEO of the Cheetah Toys is Dr. Paulette Showers. So we're going to be doing our music, doing our thing in and out. So as of now, we're going to play a song or two, and then we're going to be joining the crew inside the auditorium of the Union Gardens Infant School. I haven't seen any of the children yet, but what is for sure is that at some children from the Shortwood Primary School, and we're going to be talking to them. We have their teacher with them, and we're going to be talking to them at approximately 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. So it's a full day, and I'm so looking forward. So as it is here now, there's an introduction happening, and as soon as that is over, then we're going to be talking to Mrs. Trowers, Dr. Trowers. So we're going to be hearing from the Union Gardens Infant School headmistress, and hopefully, where are the children? Union Gardens children. Hopefully they are around. And if we see them, then we're going to be talking to them also. So in the meantime, the breeze is blowing, really blowing here. So it's blowing away my papers, but that's quite fine. I'm fine without my papers. So, okay, time. It is now, what time is it, Vaughn? It is now 10:03, so we're going to give you a little bit of music, and then we're going to come right back to the happenings here. We're going to put you in the space of the Union Gardens Infant School, right? So we hope we can paint that picture for you and let you know exactly what is happening. Welcome to the Bridge 99 FM.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I'm glad that you're here, and I like the nice things you have been saying about Cheetah.
Yes, our pleasure. Okay, so before we even get into Cheetah, you know, I like to explore my guest's background a bit and ask exactly what inspired you to even start something like this, before you even thought of starting it. Who were you before you started it?
Oh man, I'm always Jamaican. I'm glad of my upbringing because it's instilled in me the value of education at a very early age. So like most of us, I knew I didn't have the inheritance, the financial inheritance to be progressive. And so I realized very early, and with the help of my parents, especially my mother, she's now deceased, she taught us that education is the key. And so I believe so strongly in education that I myself have put myself through all of the ranks, and I've got to a doctorate degree funded by myself.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you, because I believe in the value of education. So later on, when I was looking for a business opportunity, of course, it became natural for me to say, okay, what area could I do well in? How can I excel? How can I leave a legacy behind? And then Cheetah came to mind, my creator, and you'll hear me talk about my creator a lot. He has given me so much, and then he gave me the idea. So the word Cheetah came first. And in fact, if you come to my house, you will see all the cheetah colors. I'm not wearing them fully today, but I usually love cheetah because it's, it's making a name for itself. So like cheetah, like the animal cheetah, our company is Cheetah.
Oh, I'm just getting cheetah now because,
yes.
The word cheetah kind of made me wonder, why cheetah? It's an acronym, right?
Yes, thanks for noticing. Yes, it is an acronym, yes.
So let's talk about the acronym. What is it acronym for?
So it's a lot of words, but it's connect to higher education, electronic tools, application, and help.
Right. So what I'm gathering from all of this is that you're giving the children a chance to educate themselves virtually and electronically, technically, because that's where the world is going now.
Right, yes it is. So it's a combination. So we have different, so if we were to focus just on the T for a minute, the tools in Cheetah, we are providing the tools and resources for children to excel. And so we start off with the physical books because of course we know that not everyone has all the capabilities and the Wi-Fi access and so on. So we start off with those first.
Right.
And then we have different apps, and then we branch off, and we have our own brand of tablet. Did I tell you? We have our own brand of cheetah tablets. So it's
Okay.
Google certified. And people may ask, how have you done that? It's very similar to like a Dell, a Samsung, but it's just a cheetah brand. And so we're the only black known, if maybe the only one or the only known one that we know of now that has the our own brand, Google certified tablets and phablets.
So the tablets that you've just told us about, are you going to be distributing these to the children of the Union Gardens infants?
Did they ask you to say that?
No, nobody asked me to say that.
No, okay. So because because they have been so good to us, we definitely will be giving them token gifts.
Oh, it was a secret?
So not anymore. Yeah, but no, but what we have done though over the years, we have been here in Jamaica for the past 7 years, and the Ministry of Education has been our biggest client, and so a lot of our devices, not just the tablets, I know I focused on that, but we also have a lot of all-in-one computers, a lot of ICT equipment contributed to the Ministry of Education, and they are utilized within all the schools across Jamaica.
What age group do you actually target though?
Okay, so there's really no specific age group, but what makes us unique, and I'm going to give away a trade secret, is that most of our age group is primary schools. We have a lot of infant school content that we're working on now. So we have our own proprietary content that we have actually created here in Jamaica as well. Apps Design Jamaica, one of our biggest clients as well. They work with us to develop apps. So back to your question, there's no age group really. It just depends on the content.
I hear you. So
Yes.
so it is accessible to just about all children, age group?
Yes, definitely. All the way up to high school and to college. But
Okay.
again, our focus on our market niche now is just infant schools and the primary schools.
Okay, fine. So let us talk about the books now.
Ah, yes, the book.
Who are you particularly writing for? Is there an age group there? And who does the writing?
Okay, great question. So I'm excited that we have our own publishing company. When we first started, we were one of the companies, a PEP, that did the PEP books. So a lot of our books have been reviewed and have been approved by the ministry. And in fact, our language arts and our science, every single child in a grade 6 level gets one of our books. So we started off with the PEP, a primary school, but now we are here today because we're really doing the launch for the early childhood learning kit. So this kit, and we're excited to tell you that this kit has over 30 books and reggae songs and books and puzzles and board games and flashcards, and all of that are going to be on our tablets, of course. So you had asked who the authors are,
Yes.
right? A lot of our authors are here in Jamaica. My main editor is also here. But we also operate a global company. So we have people in like 7 countries, the US, Jamaica, Canada, Indonesia, Pakistan, all over that actually does writing for us. But a lot of them are here in Jamaica.
Okay, I noticed there's a kit here. Let's look at the kit. Oh, there's nothing in the kit.
Not yet, because we haven't unveiled it yet. So,
You mentioned that the music is music that they're familiar
and
with.
you're going to hear some today. Well, no, actually, we create our own music. So everything is created by Cheetah. So I'm happy to let you know. And it's all reggae based.
That's what I mean when I say music they're familiar with.
Yes, oh, that's
it's
what you
reggae
mean,
based.
yes.
When you say you create your own music, though, what does that mean?
Did I tell you that God has been good to me and has given me creativity among other things? And so I write some of the songs in collaboration with some of my other authors. But the actual production is really done here in Jamaica. So we do the arrangement and the music and so on and the beats right here in Jamaica.
When you write these songs, what do you have in mind as you think about the children? What
Yeah.
exactly do you want them to get from the music and from the books?
Okay, so when we do these songs, really, what we try to do is to focus on the concept, because what we're trying to do is to let them play and learn. So we want to create a song that's going to bring out and reinforce the concept that we have. So for instance, if we're talking about numbers and you're going to hear that song, we want them to know numbers. We want them to recognize the numbers and know it in a great rhythm. And so that's why we use the song to reinforce the messages.
Right. And as I said before, it's music that they're familiar with,
Yeah.
but that's just here in Jamaica. What about the kits that you have for children who are not familiar with reggae?
Okay, so we do have a few of those, but to be honest, we're really promoting Jamaica. And as you know, Jamaica and reggae is an international name. That's an international brand name. And so we have been known for sports. We have been known for a lot of things. But here we have an opportunity through Cheetah, through what we call the Little Cheetah Academy, through Little Jamaicans, that what we're launching today. People now on a worldwide stage will become to recognize who we are as leaders in education.
Okay, I got that. Reggae is international and people recognize it all around. What
Yes.
about the images on the kit though? I love the images on the kit because
Right.
the image is actually reflect me. But
Thank
what
you.
about those who it doesn't reflect?
So,
Are there other images?
So let me first say that we're pleased that we're doing cultural sensitive images that the children are familiar with, that looks like you and I. And we do understand that we do operate in a global space. The Little Jamaicans is just targeted just for Jamaicans. So when we go to the global field,
okay.
we have what we call the Cheetah Cubs, children understanding the benefits of school. So we're going to be doing that on a more global level, But for now, we're focusing on our primary market, and we're giving back and we're leaving a legacy by creating the Jamaican, Little Jamaicans.
This is wonderful. My final question though,
Yes.
have you gotten a chance to get it in on the curriculum in basic schools particularly?
Okay, so you're a little ahead of me. So we're hoping that after the launch, that we'll have great success. We have gotten feedback and somewhat of an endorsement from the Early Childhood Commission, and she's going to be here today and she's speaking, and you'll hear more about her. And so they have officially endorsed it. They have reviewed the materials. They like what they have seen. But what we have to do, based on the current system that they have now, there's not such a uniform for books, which is what we saw several years ago.
Right.
Even before they did and I'm a little distracted by my by my mascot, right? But even before this happened, the year of the early childhood, we saw a market niche. We realized that compared to like the primary level and the high school level, there were no standard books that are used at the basic level. And I know I'll be preaching to the choir when I say that those books, we know the early years and the importance of those early years. So what we have done, we have written the books just in line with the curriculum. We hope that it's going to be adopted uniformly across our schools, and I hope too that a lot of principals would adopt it on an individual basis.
Okay, perfect. I know you're needed in the auditorium.
Yes,
So
I'm a little
you're going to
distracted,
be
but
giving
thank
the
you.
remarks.
Yes, I will.
Right.
be.
So I'm gonna excuse you,
Yeah,
and we're
thank
going to
you.
actually go over to the auditorium, and we're going to take a break first, and then we're going to go inside the auditorium for a while just to show our viewers and listeners exactly what is happening in there. All right.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, and
Yeah.
congrats on all that you do.
Thank you so much.
All right. It's back now to Grace Ann Solomon, who is the principal of Union Gardens Infant. First of all, where is Union Gardens Infant if somebody wants to find us here now? And how long have you been here?
Well, this is my 4th year at Union Gardens Infant School. And if you want to find us, we're located just off Spanish Town Road in the community of Union Gardens. And I just want to big up Union Gardens. It's a close-knit community that we have down here. And I should tell you something interesting about the community. Everybody, all the adults in the community, there is a real investment by the adults within. I can tell you that because we have not just Union Gardens Infant School, but we have just across the road from us, we have Union Gardens Christian Academy. That's a preschool. And all the adults, you know, you have some communities where that don't have young children going to school. I can promise you that in this community, there's a push to make sure, to ensure. So if you have a child at home, I've had a situation some time ago where we had 3 community members taking the child from the mother and say, look, miss, child must come to school. So that happens here. Yes, man. There's that
Absolutely.
real push.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So,
So I
that
want
means
to pick up the
community
community.
spirit is great.
Yes, a
because
great-
I was going
great
to ask
spirit.
you that question because it's in an era that perhaps one could consider to be an era that has challenges.
Right.
So that was a question I was going to ask you.
There is absolutely no challenge where early child education is concerned. We have the adults coming to make things over here.
Right.
We have them come, as I said, ensuring that the children come. So one thing that you'll find here, they are rarely absent because they have to come to school.
That is wonderful.
Somebody go and talk.
But so that must impact the way the children learn.
Yes, definitely. I can honestly tell you that one of the things that we are finding more and more that we are highly sought after in terms of when the children leave here, They are highly sought after because everybody understands that they are learning.
Who are your feeder schools?
Okay, so our feeder schools, our primary feeder school is St. Peter Claver. We have St. Jude's. We have as far as the Michael practicing all the way out there, the one St. Richard's. So they go all over. But I can promise you that they are highly sought after because they are learning.
Wonderful.
And that is, as I said before, I don't want to take any big up, community.
Right. And
community
you take
activity.
children ages?
Ages 3 years and 8 months up to 6.
What have you found? Because I know you're an early childhood education teacher,
Right.
but you're a teacher.
Right.
What have you found out about children who have a solid early childhood base? How do they learn as they go along?
I'm glad you asked that question because I am one of the advocates for early childhood within Jamaica. More resources. Whenever the child or there is that real infusion or there is that seriousness about early child or getting the child educated at the early child level, when they get to primary school, it's a shot because the stimulation will already have been there. Right. They have what is known as the grade 1 readiness test at grade 1. If early childhood education does not take place or if the child does not attend an ECI, what you find is that there's a slow start. There's a slow start within the primary level, and that's a problem that Jamaica consistently finds.
Yes.
And so I must say that I am happy for our sponsors, if I may, Mr. Glenn Christian, Mr. Carl Hendrickson, the Union Gardens Foundation that built this school, because as I said to you, there is now that real infusion, that real push within this community. So it's as you know, if you talk about a ripple effect, a little drop ripple effect. So within this community or within this Mrs. Brownberg's community, there's that push for early child, the awareness in terms of early child education. So we want to just say big up. It's just started.
Yes.
And I can guarantee you that give us a few more years, you will see the ripple effect or
you know,
the
it's
advantages.
interesting that you mentioned the MP who should be here.
She's here.
She's here. Okay,
yes.
great. Mrs. Brownberg.
Angela Brownberg.
Angela Brownberg. She's the MP for the area.
Right.
What has the community involvement and also the involvement of our politicians, how has that been for the school?
Well, I can tell you that she's extremely supportive. When I just started here, you would imagine I came as a stranger. And so one of the things that we put on was a march. She was there with us. And we had that march, and since we have had that march, there has been that real interest because this school was built in 2015 and I came in 2018. However, attendance was poor because nobody knew the branding needed to get out there. And I can promise you that it was our member of parliament who came on board, came with us, walked through the communities with us, distributed pamphlets, spoke to the people. And that was really the spark or the thing that catch a fire. Yes, so I really and truly want to say thank you for that. Always remember that. Again, she is always willing. She's a phone call away. She is really and truly a phone call away.
This is very good, and it's very good that you actually said that because you spoke about the community involvement before, and now you're telling us that the MP for the area,
yes.
Dr. Brownberg, Angela Brownberg, kind of inspired the community before.
Yes,
to participate.
So she had been inspiring, but as I said, when I came here in 2018, one of the biggest things that she did was to come on that march, that whole push to get the word out there, and that was the turnaround for this school that we needed.
Let me ask you something, Mrs. Masalomon.
Right.
We talk about the kits, we talk about the electronic toys, we talk about all these things. Mm-hmm. How important is it for early childhood teachers to teach children through play?
Extremely important. Play along with the resources.
Yes,
I want to put that in there because we understand that at the concrete operational stage, children need to feel, to touch, to smell. And if they're not given the resources, then that won't happen with it. Yes, we can have them interacting with the items within the environment, but why not stimulate a little more by providing the necessary things? We speak about Finland. All the while, we look to Finland and we look at what they had done within early child education. And, it has propelled them to one of the countries in the world where education is paramount. And you see the benefits in terms of financially for the country's GDP. And so I want to say that Jamaica as a country, we need to not just talk. We don't need to just talk, But we need some real investment by the necessary, the top people, the people with the pockets, or the people who control the purse strings within early child education to ensure that Jamaica is propelled just like how Finland was propelled. And you spoke about the necessary resources. They cost money.
Yes.
The infrastructure for these basic schools right across Jamaica that we see it, we consistently see it, because most of them are privately owned, as you know. And because they're privately owned, they perhaps cannot purchase the tablets or the different technological toy or the new devices that they have in early child to stimulate learning. They can't do it. And so this morning I am advocating that there needs to be some additional thought.
Yes.
Some allocated budget.
Yes.
Some prioritization of early child education to ensure that Jamaica can reap the rewards that can happen just because we stimulate the children.
I hear you, and I'm still on the topic of stimulating those children, because what you said, as this is my final question.
That's fine.
What you're saying is, that's my producer talking to.
Oh, producer wanted to come on.
But as we talk about stimulating and we talk about the necessary tools, one of the ways I have found as a mother and also as someone who used to teach is that children learn best when it's incidental.
Right.
When they're not even aware that they're actually learning.
Right.
And this cannot happen without tools.
No, it can't happen.
So how important is it to just have a classroom where even if the child just stands up and does nothing but just look around,
what we call the constructivist approach, right?
That's right.
Yes. Or what's the gentleman's name? Oh my goodness, don't shame. What's the name? The mono. I forget just now. But the classroom that the child can walk into and learn.
Is it the Montessori?
The Montessori approach.
Absolutely.
Where the classroom provides the environment that the child can learn. And learning can take place through interaction, as you said.
Absolutely.
Within we criticize sometimes America because when some of our children leave to go, we say they look bright. It's the truth. It's the truth. However, I've been given the opportunity to walk through some of the classrooms in America, and the dream that you speak about, because I look at it as a dream that is attainable for Jamaica, where the classroom is an interactive place of play, and the child can learn something that is missing sometimes from our children. Critical thinking.
Yes.
And that's the difference, That's the difference. So the early stimulation at this age, this is the stage that that's the beginning of development of abstract thinking.
Yes.
And all of this cannot take place without that investigative learning, the guided learning. All of that is needed in order for the child to be stimulated adequately for primary level education. I am too. I'm so excited this morning.
Yes,
I am really
exactly
excited.
What our children need.
Exactly.
And we're talking about creativity. It seems as though these kits will really enhance creativity.
Yes.
And tell me about learning and creativity.
Yes.
I am so excited to talk to you. You are so
am as well.
excited, and that makes me very, very happy.
If I may, I just wanted one big up to Mr. Glenn Christian. That is the founder of our foundation. This building you look around us, it costs a lot.
Yes.
And it must have taken a lot out of them. So I always want to say thank you very much for giving back to Jamaica.
Yes.
Big up, Mr. Christian.
And thanks for talking to us.
You are so welcome.
Who we have here now is the MP for this whole area, and that's Dr. Angela Brown Burke. So thank you very much for joining us on the Bridge 99 FM, ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're most welcome. So you are the MP for the area. Tell us about the area that you supervise.
Okay, so I am Member of Parliament for the area. I like to say it's from, I don't know if you know Mother White Bridge. It's all the way from Mother White Bridge, a little by Maypen Cemetery.
Yes.
Coming all the way back past the overhead, going almost into 3 miles right there.
Right.
And then I go to the sea, that is that Marcus Garvey Drive area, and that end. And up on the other side, it's Waltham Park, it's Maxfield Park.
And you're responsible for that whole
for that
area.
entire area. So
Okay.
I border West Kingston, South St. Andrew, West St. Andrew, West Central St. Andrew.
Right.
East Central St. Andrew.
One would consider the areas that you just described as areas that have challenges. And some of the challenges would be, unfortunately, educating our children. I just spoke to the principal for the school, Mrs. Ma Solomon, and she mentioned the community spirit. and particularly the school. And she also mentioned your involvement in helping the community to be part of the spirit. Tell us about early childhood, the school, what it mean to you, the whole thing.
Well, the first thing is that I really, really believe that early childhood education is the foundation.
Absolutely.
And growing up as a poor girl, my mother not having finished high school, the one thing she just riveted in our heads is the importance of education in changing our lives and making each generation better than the one before. And so that is really my foundation. And so I'm always looking at what we're doing in early childhood education. And Mrs. Masalman is absolutely correct. Union Gardens Early Childhood Institute is a gem that we have. It was one of those that former MP, the most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller, this was one of her babies.
Okay.
And believe you me, it has come out of collaboration with private sector donors and so on, and it is absolutely fantastic. I joined her when I just came walking through the community, encouraging parents to bring their students here, their children here, and to understand the difference it could make. And believe you me, it's one. I have two that I really have to talk about. It's Majestic Gardens Infant and Union Gardens Early Childhood Institute, where they have been able to bring the parents. You would have heard her say, students don't stop from school.
Right.
Whether the ministry says school is out or in, they are going to bring their kids, because they know if they're absent, somebody's going to come down and say, where is so-and-so? And they know exactly where to find them.
Okay, but hold on a little bit now. A lot of communities listening would love that kind of, militancy. How did you get that to happen?
I'll be honest that I inherited part
You
of
inherited it, right.
I inherited it, though, because we had good leadership in
Absolutely,
the school.
absolutely.
And they understood the importance of the school partnering with parents. Because the truth is that no matter how bad you think your parents are, how disinterested they are, how uneducated they are, how them no business, if you build that relationship with them to understand why it's important for their kids to be in school and to be learning, they are going to work with you. And I think that is what we have been able to achieve.
Wonderful. We spoke about feeder schools. So you have this here as an infant school. Let us talk about feeder schools in the community. Are they ready to accept children like these, infants like these?
No, we do, because DuPont is not mine, but I claim DuPont because it's right across the road. DuPont Primary.
Okay.
We also have Coburn Gardens Primary,
Right.
which is doing very well.
Right.
We have Tavares Gardens. We have Greenwich Town Primary as well. St. Andrew Primary, which again is not mine, but I claim it because it's on my board. It's one of my feeder school. And St. Peter Claver, that is a church-based school as well. So we have some good feeder schools that are here, from which, kids coming from schools like these can just actually go right into.
You see the importance of having good feeder schools, because it don't make any sense to spend so much time on this and then we drop the ball when we reach primary school.
What really happens, because that early childhood is where parents are most involved.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So once you have them and they understand, they are going to choose good feeder schools. I can tell you that.
Yes. I hear you.
So they are going
I hear you.
So even though they are here, there are students who are going to St. Jude's Primary. They are going anywhere there is a good primary school. Anywhere there's a good primary school, you're going to find that they go. And you're going to find that when they do their grade 1 readiness test, that they are ready.
I hear you. And I just want to use the opportunity to say enough respect. Because when I'm talking to a principal who not politically motivated at all, and she's going to tell me that the MP walk with them and march with them, we need more of that. We need more of that, because it motivates the student and the community. The community.
Absolutely.
It's all about the community.
Absolutely.
So big up yourself.
Blessings.
Take care. So that was Dr. Angela Brown Burke, and she's Member of Parliament for the St. Andrews Southwestern constituency. We're celebrating 2022 as the year of early childhood development, and we're also celebrating Child Month, and we are still in Child Month. A few weeks ago, I was invited by a teacher, Mrs. Patricia Thorpe, to read to her students at the Shortwood Primary School. And believe me when I tell you, I was overwhelmed, because the quality of interaction, the thinking of the children, critical thinking. It was just awesome. So we have with us today 6 of those children who we had to read for at the Shortwood Primary School, and they have been waiting patiently, and they are as excited as I am. So we're going to be asking each of them, first of all, to just introduce themselves. So introduce yourself, and when you've introduced, just your name and what class you're in and who's your teacher, and you pass the microphone to your friend.
I am Kenny Gray and I am in grade 2S.
Okay, and how old are you?
I am 7 years old.
Okay.
I am Tahila Air and I am in grade 2S.
And you are? How old are
7
you?
years old.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Sarah Lloyd and the class I am in is 2S and I am 7 years old. My name is Joshua Harton and I am 8 years old and I'm in grade 2S. My name is Miana Cummings and I am from grade 2S. I am 8 years old.
And the only boy in the group, what's your name?
My name is Samuel Black and I am in 2S. And I am 8 years old.
Okay, wonderful. So we asked these children to tell us about early No, you're not giving away that mic, you know, miss. You're not giving away the mic, miss. So, Miss Freda mic more than the picnic them. But there's just no way I cannot involve you because, you know, I said to her, how you do it? And her answer was that she don't do nothing. It's them inspire her. Let's talk. Let's talk about the children and your role and how they inspire you and what we need to be doing more with them.
Good morning. I guess it's morning now. I am Patricia Thorpe. I'm a teacher of grade 2 at the Shortwood Infant Primary School. Now, children is my life. Children is my life. And just seeing them in the morning, coming in, smiling, it just gives me the energy, the drive. And because I see them as my future, if I don't do what I have to do now, then my future will look dark. So within my mind is that these are my future prime ministers, garbage collectors, tailors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, radio announcers. That's how I see them. And so therefore, when I get up in the morning, it doesn't matter how tired I am. When I just think about the 39 that I will have before me.
Oh my goodness.
It just gives me such energy, joy, just to see them, to impart. My thing is that I like to educate. So I'm not really a teacher.
You're an educator.
I'm an educator. I'm an educator. I don't teach to pass exam. I teach for life. So whatever they get at this age, it will carry them into adulthood. And so therefore, anything that I can do for these little ones, as the Bible says, it makes my world, especially when they shine. You know, not all of them are well behaved, and I tend to draw to the boys who are raucous and all of that. But when you see them saying, yes, miss, I understand, miss. Oh my God.
You know, there's something that you said, Mr. Stop, and I really have to talk to you about that. When I was in the classroom watching you relate to the children, you said a while ago that you're an educator more than you are a teacher. And after we read our story, one of the things that you asked the children is to analyze the story, which tells me that critical thinking is way up on the list for you. Let's talk about the importance of critical thinking.
So there is a subject in our curriculum called integrated studies. So there is a topic that we look at. How am I educated and why is education important? My babies can answer. Why are you educated? Yes. And they would tell you, why are you educated, little ones?
I am educated because I get the teaching and the learning. And as he or she goes and develop, they get that training. And when they are older and they go in high school, that that teaching and that training will bring them to adulthood and it,
Awesome.
Awesome.
But let me ask you this though, because you are doing so much work with these children, helping them to have a guiding them
Right.
to have a mind of their own.
Oh,
Because it's
yes.
one thing to have a mind of your own, and another thing to be guided to have a mind of your own. How impressed are you after you've done so much work that it will continue when they reach high school?
Well, the thing is, once you have planted a seed and you water it, it will grow. And as the good book says, train up a child in the way he should go.
Never
That
depart.
when he gets old, it will never depart.
depart.
So you see, I plant these little seeds here.
Yes.
I don't know who is going to rain on them in grade 3. I don't know which sun is going to shine on them in grade 4. But I know there will be some pruning in grade 6. But the seed will become seedling. Then they will become young tree, and they'll become trees after a while bearing good fruits.
Absolutely. All right. As we wind up this conversation, we asked the children to think about what does Child Month mean to them. Have you thought about it? Everybody thought about it? So everybody has an answer? Okay. Let us start with you since you have the microphone. So you're going to say what Child Month means to you. And as soon as you tell us, you're going to pass the mic to your friend.
what Child Month means to me is that spending time with the children and celebrating the children that are in your family as the girls and boys grow up and become and pass on to their children in life so that they can become just like their parents and be lawyers and they find their dream and chase after it. And after that time it's just like you are celebrating yourself
That's
as
right.
a child.
That's right. Beautiful. All right, pass the mic on. What does Child Month mean to you?
Child Month means to me is that I have some friends and they care to me and I care to them, and I also have more attention to them, and they're loving and caring to us and my teacher, and they always celebrate with us.
Wonderful. All right, you pass the microphone. We're not going to leave you for the last this time here. What does Child Month mean to you, my love?
Child Month is when we celebrate children.
Short and sweet. What does Child Month mean to you?
Child Month means to me that when your parents understand that you're growing up, and when you grow up, they say, "Oh, my love, you're growing up nice and sweetly," and it means to me that my parents love me and other parents love their children.
Absolutely. All right. Yes.
Child Month means to me.
Come up a little closer.
Children.
I want them to see everybody. All right.
Child Month means to me children voices.
Go again.
Child Month means to me children voices.
Children what?
Voices.
You heard that? He said Child Month means to him children's voices. In other words, you need to be heard. Children need to be heard, right? Absolutely. And who else didn't get the mic? Your turn, my darling. What does Child Month mean to you?
What Child Month means to me is to educate children and to help them to go through some stuff, and when they grow up they'll be the next prime ministers, lawyers, doctors, maybe anything they want to be and what they're comfortable in.
Parents, very well. Well said. Well, one thing that came out of this is that the children know what their role is, but they also know the role of the parents. So parents, we have to be careful because these children are being educated not just about reading and writing, but they are being educated about their rights. A different kind of teachers there. You heard Miss say she's not just a teacher, she's an educator. So we have to be very, very sensitive and careful. What is so special about today for you? What do you like the most about today? What fun are you having today?
Today, I like that I'm going on the radio because my parents are going to be proud of me and my grandma. And I love to watch when people is on stage.
Well, you know, everybody's hearing you on the radio now. So you
Yeah.
know what the children said to Miss? They said to Miss that I'm a celebrity today. You are a celebrity every day. So what is it that you particularly loved about today? To just being here today.
What I love about today is that the Lord woke us up shining and beautiful today, and that every one of my classmates, even though they are not here with me, I say that they are celebrity every day and every week.
You are so right. Oh my goodness. What are you learning today and what is so special about today for you?
Today is that I love today is because I'm on the radio and my parents is going to be hearing me, and also my family, and although my friends are not here with me, I'm still happy to be with God and everyone here.
Absolutely. This little one says she's happy because the Lord woke her up this morning so she can shine. Isn't that amazing? What do you particularly love about today, darling?
I love about today so I can watch it on stage, the children dance,
Yes, that was fun.
and see the beautiful sunset and shine.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a break now. But you know what he said? He said that what he loved about today was to see the beautiful children dancing. So this is a wonderful outing for everyone. And I know your parents are listening. Your parents are seeing you on TV. And I'm sure they are supporting you right now. All right. So we're going to take a break. We're going to take a commercial break. All right. All right.